Hello and a very warm welcome. You've joined us live on ITV Sport for the semi-finals of the Cazoo UK Open, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation and coming to you from Butlins, Minehead. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the semi-finalists. Would you please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, he's taking part in his first ever TV semi-final, a former World Youth Championship finalist. Would you please welcome Adam Gawlas! Ladies and gentlemen, taking part in his second UK Open semi-final, it's Goldfinger Andrew Gilding!
Well, a contrast in characters and personalities on the stage tonight. I wonder what we can expect from these two. A place in the final at stake. To talk us through it, Alan Warren a little and Stuart Pike.
It is quite simply one amazing opportunity. It may be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, who knows? But for Andrew Gilding and Adam Gawlas, a chance to play in a major TV final. A guaranteed £50,000 if they win this, a place in the Grand Slam, and an opportunity to rewrite the history books. How are your nerves, Mr. Gawlas, Mr. Gilding? We shall see. Give a walk on. Andrew Gilding always kind of looks a bit awkward, doesn't he? Sort of embarrassed to be here. But as Mark and Chris were saying, they are here on merit. They both had to win 5 matches to reach this stage. And the young man from the Czech Republic, only just a month ago, celebrating his 21st birthday. And we know for sure now that he's got a big, big future. For Andrew Gilding, as I mentioned, the opportunity, and it may well be for him of a lifetime. We shall see.
Yes, it's certainly an incredible chance, apart from everything else you've mentioned there. I mean, it's not that often away from the top players. A low-ranked player or two low-ranked players are playing in a semi-final.
First leg, Andrew to throw first.
As you say, they've earned the right.
Game on.
So here we go. Andrew Gilding against Adam Gawlas for a place in the UK Open final.
64.
We're now familiar. Andrew Gilding, giant steps towards the hockey, 2 steps left, throws, giant steps right, takes the darts out. It's a It's also almost OCD-like. Let's just have a look at what he does. There you go. Get to the hockey, right over to the left-hand side. Very, very effective. And then he'll take a couple of giant steps to the right.
80.
There we go. Take them out, and on we go.
Yeah, it's unusual and one we haven't seen before on our screens, but I certainly remember a lot of times in the early days in America, a lot of the American players used to do that. Go from right and then go over to left because they felt more set by being there and just getting in position. But as I say, you don't see it that often.
On the other side, the flip side of the coin, I think the best example is Stephen Bunting, who was as far to the right side of the hockey as you could possibly go, isn't he?
Well, Wes Newton was one, and Mervyn King all the way to the left. It's just where you feel comfortable.
I think a lot of this will come down maybe to
41.
to who handles the pressure and the very nature of what's at stake. And Gawlas, fantastic start against. They're averaging over 110 for the first 7 or 8 legs of that match.
125.
Well, as we say, Andrew Gilding's been in a semi-final here in 2015. Didn't overall him. He lost very narrowly to Michael van Gerwen with 108 average.
I'm just having a look back at that. Yeah, 1080 lost to Van Gerwen, Players' Championship semi-final. That 108 average, there was a 10 darter in there. There was 10 180s from Gilding.
125.
Gawlas hit 12 180s in his quarter-final win over Rob Cross. Not left to finish.
Well, the early part of that match, he was outstanding. And it's strange because we've said it
97.
in the last few sort of interviews or discussions we've had on in the studio, it's come from nowhere. And genuinely, it has come from nowhere.
Come on, Adam. Work it out.
The abacus out of your pocket. He's just gone. A bit befuddled.
27. Andrew required 75.
So this for a hold of throw. That's a beauty, isn't it? Double six, the dart that won the quarter-final.
He's
It
gone
wins
first
the
leg,
first leg here
Gilding.
for Andrew Gilding.
Second leg, Adam to throw first.
Gilding, for 2 or 3 years, around that 14, 15, 16, did really, really well. And then he just disappeared, didn't he? He literally disappeared. He fell off a cliff as far as
45.
the sport was concerned. And he'd come back a couple of years ago.
I think what helped him was he tried to get his tour card back for 2 years. He didn't manage that, but what that allowed him to do was go on the challenge
96.
tour.
He won a couple.
He won a couple, get his game back, get his confidence back. Then he goes back to Q School in 2022, 21, 22, and wins it back. Well, now in the semi-final here, got to a European Tour final, we mentioned, another couple of other Pro Tour finals.
134.
And as we've mentioned also, he's putting in some really, really big numbers in some of these events.
Well, he's up to world number 34 with his exploits this weekend.
57.
Into the top 32 in the world with victory in this match.
Oh, that'll be fabulous for Andrew. Doing pretty well with his new darts.
100.
Had them less than a week. That's incredible.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Maybe it just changes everything, that thought process, trying a little bit harder.
You've said it many times,
140.
thousands of times over the years. It's all what's in between the ears, not necessarily what's between the fingers when it comes to darts.
Yes, very psychological.
If he thinks they're great, they'll be good.
Well, there you go.
134.
It's funny as well, because sometimes as a player, when you're playing well, you have a throw with somebody else's darts, you think these are good, you hit everything, but you wouldn't dare take them on stage.
Well, we've heard about Peter Wright using 4 or 5 sets of darts in this weekend. One of them was a set based on Barry Bates's darts, the Welsh star. He picked them up through with them, liked them, so have some made.
Well, he needs the ball. Oh, and he gets the ball. Wonderful finish from the 21-year-old to level.
Where was your darts career age 21?
100.
I know it's different, obviously a different era with different opportunities
I was playing
available.
snooker. I was playing snooker, literally.
Yeah.
Played snooker first, yeah. And then probably just a few years after that, I started playing.
So you weren't actually playing the sport at age 21?
No.
Wow.
100.
Times do change, don't they? You look at 16-year-old Thomas Banks and Luke Littler, who've made their names or had some real success here this weekend.
Now Andrew looking for a maximum here.
140.
Well, you just look at the system that's in place. Incredible, it really is. It's taken a long time to get there. The JDC for the youngsters, and we've got the development tour from 16 to 23. Challenge tour if you don't get a tour card. The Pro Tour Women's Series has been really successful and progressing.
99.
It's in a good place.
One thing for sure, the sport is constantly evolving, isn't it?
Well, we'll look at what Barney and Michael have done for darts in Holland, and we've got how big it is in Germany. With Gabriel Clemens, he's run to the semi-final. Martin Schindler still in the mix. Didn't have a good game today, but it's progressing really well over there. A lot of youngsters entered Q School. I'm sure a lot more will enter the development tour. And Gawlas from the Czech Republic. Obviously, we've got Karel Sedacek from there, who's got a tour card.
Of course, the World Series spreading the word, isn't it? Back to Madison Square Garden in June. We've been to Asia, new spots in Bahrain, Australia and New Zealand in August.
100.
But I know the PDC are really keen to have a good go at the Asian market. We'll stay there looking for the treble.
56. Adam, you require 151.
Well, they took out a few good shots today.
He has.
164, if I remember. That was an incredible one. Third leg to put him 3-0 up. Not on this occasion, though. He's changed his mind, staying upstairs.
60. Andrew, you require 40.
3 pretty well thrown darts for not a lot of reward. So Gilding looking at tops.
Each on the third leg, Andrew Gilding.
2-1 it is. First 3 legs all going with throw. I mentioned about the possibility of Gilding going into the world top 32. Gawlas is into the world's top 50 after reaching the semi-finals here. Goes up to 42 in the world if he wins this match.
140.
Making the most of the opportunities when they come along.
Still find it amazing that he picked up a set of darts 5 or 6 months later, went to the development tour, got enough to qualify for the World Youth Championship, played in that and got to the final from nowhere. Incredible.
And it really has launched his career. All right, it wasn't a happy night on this stage in 2019, lost 6-0 in the final to Luke Humphries, but he got the taste for it.
140.
And you only can improve by playing against the best players week in, week out. Gawlas is a prime example.
Yes, it shows as well he's under the same management as Dimitri.
59.
Quite a big team there.
Vandenberg against Van Gerwen to come. Second semi-final.
130.
Well, good thinking there. Went for the 25, but got the bonus with the ball. Even a max won't leave a finish.
100.
Well,
Adam, you require 91.
Presuming Gawlas wins this, they've been 4 fairly comfortable holes of throw.
Yes, it's not hit the heights yet, despite Gawlas averaging just under 100, which is a very good return. And this will be a good return if he can take this out
59.
as well. Unlucky. So he's well ahead on the averages, but behind on the scoreline, looking to level.
$81. Adam, you require 32.
The double 16 for 2-all in the semi-final of the UK Open.
You've shown a full flag, Adam Gawlas.
They really have
Full
been
flag,
convincing
Andrew
holes on throw.
Game.
But to remind you, it's now best of 21, first to 11. And there will be breaks after legs 5, 10 and 15. And there's the golden thumb from Goldfinger.
The golden thumb. Love it.
You like that? Thank you.
57.
Just having a look back. Of course, Goldfinger, everybody knows the theme music from the Bond film. But after the words Goldfinger, what comes
100.
next? Can you remember? I had to look it up. He's the man with the Midas touch.
I was just going to say that.
$45.
Gilding looking to go in at the first break ahead. Legs gone with throw.
140.
Looking good again in this one.
But they both play at a similar pace. It's steady. It's slowish.
Well, certainly won't be rushed, will there? Very slow and deliberate, Adam
Andrew,
Gawlas, and we've seen Andrew
81.
Gilding with that walk to the hockey, step to the right, get himself set.
Double 12 for an 11 darter.
Brilliant
Brilliant from Andrew Gilding. Well, it very much is on throw. 5 dominant holes of throw to start this first semi-final. The 52-year-old Andrew Gilding leads the 21-year-old Adam Gawlas by 3 legs to 2. Final 3-2, 5 legs, all won comfortably on throw. Yeah, it's interesting.
Any tension or anxiety should have gone now after
Yeah, I
that
think
first
so.
session.
Sort of steady away, isn't it?
123.
Look at the numbers. 93 plays 95. It's interesting. Our resident anorak, Richard Ashdown, came up with some interesting names of total outsiders who've reached the semi-finals of the UK Open. We'll go through it in a moment. There's a decent stance. There's no movement, is there, whatsoever? The back foot pointed backwards. This is, I think it's different, but again, very little movement. Just the arm coming into play for Andrew Gilding.
100.
See if you remember some of these names. UK Open semi-finalist Paul Williams in Bolton, from Bolton. Mark Walsh, he went on to be a runner-up. Alan Taban, John McGowan, the Irishman, Barry Bates and Gary
59.
Mawson, the Canadian. They both got to the final, a runner-up. Tony Ayres, David Pallett, Robert Owen, Keane Barry. And that's the beauty of this tournament, that you're going to get players who
58.
would be nowhere near normally an opportunity of a big TV final get that close, or actually get into it.
That's what we'll see when we get here on day one, don't we? All those faces looking to get that moment,
45.
whether they're a qualifier or a lower ranked tour card holder or one of the qualifiers from the secondary tours. All there with the shirts on, getting ready for the match and hoping it's going to be their year, where they can have that run.
56.
John McGowan. One of the gents of the sport, the Irishman, back in 2006. Paul Williams was 2003, the first one, when Taylor beat Shane Burgess in the final.
83. Andrew, you require
Keane Barry just 12 months ago. So Gilding looking at 150. Still looking at 150.
Surprised he didn't stay on the treble 20 there with
Yeah,
Gawlas
me
on
too.
92.
Absolutely.
Adam,
Such a
you
good lie
require
as well.
92.
First time there's been real pressure on either player's throw. So Gilding here
76.
with the first chance
And
to
you
strike the
require
first
56.
blow and the first breaker throw.
Yes, big chance. 2 darts in his hand.
He shot
Only
the six
needed
flag,
the one.
Andrew Gilding.
What
Seven
did Mark
flag,
and Chris
Andrew
were
to
talking about
throw first.
at the top of the show, and you and I have sort of mentioned it, but how much experience could come into play? The fact that Gilding has been in this position. Thumbs up! Well, it is thumbs up, because he's on his way to winning, going 5-2 up, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Good maximum there. Start the leg after breaking. Piling the pressure.
But experience must play a part.
31.
Well, it plays a part when it gets to one of those
Critical,
moments.
yes. But on the other side of the coin, Gawlas, you could say fearless, absolutely fearless, but look at this.
140.
Yeah, rubbish. I agree, Andrew. It's all about winning the leg. But yeah, Gawlas playing with no fear.
Such a very slow and deliberate style.
140.
Straight at the board. Certainly was a bit emotional after his last win, wasn't he? Obviously a big
54.
moment for the young man.
Well, they're both guaranteed 30,000. A place in the final, the guarantee goes up to 50,000. The winner of the UK Open collects 110,000. Record prize money again, £600,000 this weekend.
11. Andrew, you require
Yeah, it's great to see
127.
it was increased by 150,000 by the PDC.
You won't go for the ball.
87.
Looking good for Gilding.
Well, this will be 3 legs on the spin. Andrew Gilding, as it stands, taking a giant step, or giant steps, maybe, to becoming a major TV winner. Or not.
30.
Well, I almost
Adam,
didn't
you
expect
require-
that.
I
The
can
way
say
the game's
totally
been
unexpected the way that he's been playing.
playing so well on double top. So this is really a chance for Gawlas that was maybe not expected. Treble 18 or single 18, is it the treble? Double 7.
72.
Oh, so close, so close.
Andrew, you require 10.
Fine margins once more for Adam Gawlas. He won't get another opportunity.
Andrew Gilding.
So it is 3
Great
consecutive
flag,
legs.
Adam, to
Gilding now
throw first.
5-2 in front.
Game on.
Is he taking control now of this semi-final?
Big deep time for Gawlas.
100.
as yet hasn't produced the form he has in the last 2 or 3 rounds, where he's been
125.
absolutely terrific. Would have had plenty of time to get himself ready.
45.
Oh, that was a slip. Big slip there. Plenty of time to get himself ready after his quarter-final win.
Yeah, Gilding was involved in the first
100.
game of the day. Gawlas in quarter-final number 3. I'm just wondering why you were a little bit subdued in the commentary box, but then I remembered you're a Man United fan, Alan.
Thank you.
40.
I've had all the texts, quite a few of them. Quite a lot, to be fair.
Easy one.
The last one over the top. Well, he's playing steady, Andrew Gilding, but he's not having to do much more at this moment in time. Gawlas was outstanding, certainly against Rob Cross in the early part of the match. Managed to
57.
sustain that for most of it.
Yeah, he was. His numbers were outstanding, weren't they? From start to finish in that game. You know, 110, 112 in the early stages, around the 100 mark throughout, and it's quite clear that 87 Adler is going to win this semi-final.
134.
On top of that, he hit an astonishing 12 maximums against Rob Cross in that quarter-final. He's not hit a single one so far in this semi-final.
That's right, and I think 10 of those were in the
44.
early part of it.
Andrew, you
He
require
hit too close to the
61.
end, but something like 10 in 8 or 9 legs. It was incredible.
Tops for 4 legs on the spin.
41. Andrew, you require 20.
Just wonder maybe a little change of tack from Gawlas. Maybe just try and throw a little quicker. Just throw something different into the mix. See if it can change his fortune.
Well, there's no doubt he has to do something, Stuart, because what he's doing at the moment isn't working. Now here's another
16.
slim
Adam, you
opportunity.
require 100.
This is not even a hold of throw, Alan.
Well, he's had a couple and not taken them, and this is one he has to take with throwing first. As I say, another breaker throw just makes it the degree of difficulty a lot harder.
Yeah, when you feel it has to go. And it does. That could be a massive moment in this match. Huge roar from Adam Gawlas. 115 checkout. Gilding missing 3 darts at double for 6-2.
Will that
60.
spark some quality and determination from Gawlas?
$100.
Can't quite get the big scores. Tons are okay. If you want him to break throw, you need to pile in a couple of big ones.
That could put a completely different complexion on it.
121.
Without being anywhere near his best, you just felt that before that moment that Gilding was coasting, wasn't he? Galvanised Gawlas. Seems to have done. And it has done. The first 180 for the young Czech.
Yes, he's certainly woken up. There's no doubt about that.
140.
Well, this will be to get us back on track. This would be for 5-4, and then he'd throw for 5-all. Has to find a treble here.
64.
Well, that's okay, it leaves a finish, but It's a big finish to get. Almost giving Andrew Gilding 2 visits here, but almost making a mess of it, but gets at least one treble.
Out of your 157.
Legs still up for grabs. So still a chance for Gawlas.
And you require 103.
Well, he's left a straight ton. Important leg in terms of how the game has been going. If there's going to be a possible change,
47.
he has to take
And
out
you require
Got it.
100.
He's taken out 115, he's hit a 180. This will be extra special. Brilliant. This is a huge dart in this semi-final.
90.
What
And
an
you
opportunity
require
for Alan
56.
Gawlas.
Yeah, it's massive, really.
Huge, Alan.
Will he get another shot? The pressure is on Andrew Gilding, strangely,
36.
because he knows his opponent's coming back at
And
him, and
you
his
require
game has just dipped
10.
slightly.
Yeah, it has. He started missing as well, hasn't he? All adds to the drama. And it does add to the drama because now Gawlas, who faced darts to go 6-2 down, is now throwing to level the semi-final.
Incredible turnaround. We've seen so many.
Game on.
It does happen. Can he keep it together for this leg? Go in the back room during the break. Focus, concentrate, and then come out firing.
60.
Not the best start, though.
Well, this would hurt Gawlas.
120.
Could have been worse. 11 legs for either player to reach a first major TV final.
Another really.
96.
It's okay, just about. But he's giving Andrew Gilding the chance to break straight back, and that would be crucial in terms of the Gawlas comeback. It's Gilding that's hitting the big trebles in this leg. There's 3 of them.
The third time we've seen the trademark thumbs up.
Needs to follow it. He really needs to follow this. Oh, not quite. Good attempt.
Unlucky. Gawlas still averaging only 88. A long way off what he was doing in the quarter-final.
43.
The door open for the young man from the Czech Republic.
Well, there's no doubt his scoring has got better as he hits a big one. So he's got to be careful here. He has to come downstairs. Job will be okay.
40.
Single leaves the big
And
one.
you require 150.
That should have been so
Well,
much better, shouldn't it?
Yeah, well, even somewhere around 100. And you have to hit one treble to have a dart at the double.
$97. Adam, you require 170.
Oh, he needs it. Can't start the sequence though. All he can do now
He's
is
got to
leave
get
something.
Got to get a big treble out.
90.
Well,
Well, that's
And
okay.
you require
That's
60.
Big
okay.
enough, yes.
but he's now hoping that Andrew Gilding's going to miss. He has been recently. But managed to nick that last one.
40.
He is missing, and he
Adam, you
continues to
require
miss.
80.
And he's missed darts, Andrew Gilding, in the last 3 legs. Should have been 6-2 up. Is it going to be a level game at the second break of this semi-final. Well, that is very awkward.
He's looking to find the right angle.
This would be an amazing dart. Oh, and it is an amazing dart. Wow, what a shot. Absolutely. Tick in the box for Adam Gawlas. Could have been 6-2 down. He's won 3 on the spin, and it's 5-all. And this semi-final is now wide open once more.
At some point, he's got to start producing the quality he has to get here, Stuart, because he hasn't quite done that. But what he has done is dug deep and managed to get level without really producing
100.
his best darts.
Gawlas beating Mario van den Bohana, Luke Littler, Kevin Dirks, William O'Connor, Rob Cross, Andrew Gilding beating Darren Webster, Ricky Evans, Luke Woodhouse, Brendan Dolan and Martin Schindler. There really is so much at stake for them.
56.
I was surprised at the time, really, with Andrew Gilding. He was playing well, he's averaging well into the 90s, looked in complete control. All of a sudden he missed a double. That affected him for the next leg and the following leg. Gawlas had to step in.
140.
We both know that there's more in terms of quality both of these can produce. They haven't yet, but it's about winning this game. It really is. That's what they're aiming for. Gilding's already had 3 maximums. There's his 4th.
190.
His 3rd came in that last leg before the break, and it was the first one he hit on the Gawlas throw, but it still didn't make a difference.
42.
Oh, mistake there from Gawlas.
That's a
Shouldn't have gone
shocker.
for, well, he shouldn't have gone for the 25.
No.
He should have gone for the 18.
Yeah. Just inexperience. 2-2-1, not leaving a finish. Gilding wasn't on a finish.
125.
He is now.
Fair to say he is now, absolutely.
Great setup. So he would be now throwing for a big finish. And he may have been throwing at the bull or double.
133.
He had to stay
Andrew,
there,
you
didn't he,
require 40.
to leave double 4.
He's
Gilding
flag,
just stops the
Andrew
rock,
Gilding.
moves ahead again.
Go flag Adam to throw first. Game on.
Gawlas, because Gilding won the throw, is going to have to break throw at some stage if he wants to win.
Well, there was certainly a good opportunity there for Gawlas because Gilding didn't score that well until he hit the
96.
maximum. Which got him back in the leg. And Gawlas made a mess of the 2-2-1 by not leaving a finish.
$140.
It looks like the break came at the right time for Gilding.
Yes, there's one thing for sure, there's no consistency from either player. They have the moments, then they have a dip,
28.
and they have a few more moments, then another big dip. It's all about controlling the match. Match play. Try and beat the player in front of you, forget about everything else. Every leg is up for grabs.
134.
Poor leg on throw this from
100.
Gawlas.
Yes, even with the ton, he's still 50 behind. So Andrew Gilding got rid of the cobwebs.
57.
Well, can Gawlas leave a finish, scrambling to hold his throw from 277?
Not with darts like that, no. So a very poor leg
30.
here from the
And
young
you
Czech.
require 170. 60.
Well, 2 big trebles here, and he's back in it. I honestly think that Gawlas would benefit from
59.
just speeding up a
And you
little.
go on 110.
Not just now, but generally.
Possibly. We've seen it before with other players. Brendan Dolan, the first one that comes to mind. Some others have certainly done it.
He's on a 12 leg.
Andrew Gilding, he's back on track.
13th leg, Andrew to throw first.
Good.
Game on.
Gilding won 3 legs to go 5-2 up. Gawlas 3 to make it 5-all, and Gilding throwing for a 3rd consecutive leg here.
81.
Just to remind you, Dimitri van den Berg and Michael van Gerwen in the 2nd semi-final on the way.
Well, since he got to level and then went to that break,
55.
looked very happy, got back into the game, dug deep. He's come out from that break and really not produced anything.
96.
Well, Gawlas averaged around about 100 for most of that quarter-final against Rob Cross. 86 is the best he can muster so far in the semi-final. I
100.
just think the way he throws, it lends itself to being a bit quicker.
I suppose when you're relatively new to the
60.
game, certainly the professional game, you do have that chance or possibility of changing a couple of things. Maybe should have a word with Peter Wright.
Yeah, good advice.
Just changed his darts, a few other things.
60.
Well, of course, he came through the qualifiers, didn't he, to get through to the Grand Slam of Darts last November. Was at the World Championship, reached round 2, beat Richie Burnett, lost to Ryan Searle.
65.
So bit by bit.
Yes, we have to remember he's only 21.
58.
Another one as well that noticeably speeded up with Damon Heta.
Yeah. I think Hetter's, in a way, you look at the Gawlas throw, it's fairly similar to the way that Heta throws.
99.
Hey, listen, whatever suits him, obviously up to him, but at this stage of his career, it might just be worth giving it a go. It is, isn't it?
81.
Similar to the Heta throw,
And do
isn't
you
it?
require 100?
So 100. Gilding looking out for another leg.
He's
Yeah,
got a 13th
beautiful.
leg,
Back-to-back 10+
Andrew
finishes
Gilding.
for Andrew Gilding.
14th leg, Adam to throw first. Game on.
Yes, all going his way now since that break. Since being pulled back to 5 apiece. 3 legs away. Gawlas has just completely gone off the boil.
43.
Absolutely, completely lost
Well, it's
it.
strange as well because he tried so hard and put all that determination and effort to get him back level. And comes back out and throws it all away.
Well, Gilding throwing like a man who knows, I've got you.
I'm sure he feels that way at this moment in time. He's got his game back. His opponent is struggling. He's 3 legs away. 2 if he takes this one. Be amazing. His first major
77.
TV final. Moving up the rankings. As I
Into
said,
the top 32, Alan.
yeah, absolutely. seed at the World Championships and as an example.
66.
Grand Slam spot. The better you do in tournaments, the more rewards you get. It's all down to you.
A real struggle now for young Adam Gawlas.
58.
Does he have the look of a man resigned to his fate? We shall see. One treble a visit is enough for Gilding at the moment.
Well, he's playing pretty well at this moment in time. Since the break, he's played really well. Finished well, couple of really big finishes. Maximum.
$55. Andrew, you require
Well, look at that. 12 darts thrown by Adam Gawlas and he's still on 268.
Treble 18 should leave double 12.
Just working it out.
95.
Well, it may be too little too late for Adam Gawlas.
Andrew, you require 60.
Yes, wonderful visit. But this will increase the pain.
Okay, shot of
4 consecutive legs for Goldfinger.
50 flag, Andrew to throw first.
Pot of gold at the end of the Minehead Rainbow is getting closer for Gilding. He's 2 legs away from the final, for the UK Open final, his first ever major final. And to be fair, from the off, he's been the better player.
Yes, it was just that moment, wasn't it, towards the end of that second session where he started missing a few doubles, let his opponent in, missed a few more.
90.
All of a sudden it's back level when he's really been in complete control of the match in terms of scoring. But he's managed to get that back with interest. There's the percentages are reasonably similar.
Still a great performance though from Gawlas, isn't it? Interesting that we've had Steve Brown, of course, who's the chairman of the JDC, the Junior Darts Corporation, and has done a fantastic job in promoting the sport
100.
at a youth level. But just on social media saying that Gawlas, I'd forgotten this, Gawlas played Keane Barry at the 2019 final, world final for the JDC at the Ali Pali.
125.
And both have made a major semi-final here at the UK Open in the last 2 years.
And you can't leave a finish, but he's got to
100.
just try and get some real
Andrew,
quality.
136.
Otherwise, it's good night Vienna pretty quickly. Another one of those. Double 8 for a marvellous finish of 136 on the wire.
120.
He will return. He takes this leg. He is 1 leg away from that semi-final.
It's just been too good for the young man, and it looks like
133.
experience is going to win the day. But what an
16.
achievement for Andrew Gilding. 52 years of age. Just showing that anything is possible in this sport of darts. 5 consecutive legs for Andrew Gilding. He is 1 away from the final of the UK Open.
16 flag, Adam.
5 consecutive legs from 5 apiece.
Game on.
He leads 10-5. He needs 1 more.
Well, certainly overall, Stuart, he's deserved it. If he eventually and probably
100.
will get there.
Well, Adam Gawlas has been 14 points lower than his quarter-final average when he beat Rob Cross, and kind of says it all.
100.
So a
37.
young player has then got to look at his preparation, see where he thinks he may have gone wrong, maybe over-practiced, under-practiced, not rested enough.
$140.
And that's been a rarity in the last 5 legs. In those legs, 11 to 15, by the way, didn't have a single dart and a double, Gawlas.
No, it completely
58.
gone. I mean, scoring was awful, really, for a player of his quality and what he's been showing over this weekend in that session. Just seemed to lose the plot. And it was strange when you think he'd just got back to 5 apiece.
100.
Done all the hard work.
Was Adam Gawlas singing along there as he was throwing? I'm sure he was singing "Stand Up If You Love the Darts" as he was throwing. During the break,
54.
the two players on stage were having a
161.
bit of a laugh, throwing left-handed at the board.
No, should go over to the 18s.
77.
Got the treble. Single would have been reasonably okay.
$100. Let me require 84.
Needs to finish in case Gawlas doesn't take out the 84 for the match. It's a big one for Gawlas here. This is to stay in this semi-final.
Well done.
16th leg.
Keep
Adam
fighting,
Gawlas.
keep scrapping.
17th leg. Andrew to throw first.
The other thing as well, until the semi-final, 33 180s hit by Adam Gawlas.
140.
He hit 12 against Rob Cross in the quarters. He's hit just 1.
And only 7 140s as well in the 17th leg. So the opportunities haven't been there. I mean, strangely, his doubles is 50%. 6 out of 12.
$91.
But he's been steady away, Andrew Gilding. 94, 95 average throughout. And it's proved to be more than enough to win a semi-final. The biggest win of his career to put him through to the biggest match of his career.
26.
Straight tunnel leave the 170. Anything more will be better. Has to switch with the block. Good visit there from Andrew Gilding.
That was a really good leg, throwing for the match. He looks nerveless, doesn't he?
Well, that's probably come to because of the last 5 or 6 legs where he's been playing better and his
40.
opponent has gone the other way, so he's not feeling pressurised
136.
really at any point. Just looking at a setup here. Single 16 to leave tops.
96.
Tell you what, you're throwing for the match, the biggest win of your life, and you've left tops after 12.
And your opponent's on 389. Well, whatever happens, Gawlas has had a fantastic weekend. I'm sure he'll move on to better things throughout the season, give him plenty of confidence. But for Andrew Gilding,
40.
needs tops. Will this be checkmate?
Okay.
What a night, what a day for Andrew Gilding. And what an opportunity awaits for the 52-year-old. Andrew Gilding is through to the final of the UK Open, his first ever TV final. He will be guaranteed at least £50,000. He's earned a spot in the Grand Slam of darts. He's into the world, top 32. What a day. And the final still to come against either Dimitri van den Berg or Michael van Gerwen. That is next.